Hello, LilyKatchum video. Today we're gonna take a look again at the Great League, as it's not going to be available for 2 weeks this week, together with all other standard leagues like Ultra League and Master League. But next week I think we're going to have some other Great League Cup again. I'm not too sure. Anyway, we're going to take a look here at a legend team from Jmillz with a double Incinerate backline. We're going to have the say swap of Skeledirge. We're going to have the Talonflame in the back running Flame Charge over Bravebird on PvP nowadays. Bravebird is the recommended move on this Pokemon together with Fly, but for me, I don't know, I'm enjoying Flame Charge quite a bit. I feel like Flame Charge is like kind of the bread and butter of Talonflame. Of course, Bravebird is kind of cool to have like as a nuke move there, but still, this team is kind of fun. Also, I already did some other battles afterwards, and I went quite on a great win streak with a different team that you're gonna see tomorrow. And if you don't want to miss that, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the video. To the channel, either of them, totally fine. Anyway, we want to have here the LilyKatchum in the first battle, as you're going to have the opponent with the Annihilate and the Sandslash. I have to say, in the battles I did, around 50%, like I'm not even joking, 50% were Annihilate bleeds, which was horrible for this team, of course, because Vigoroth doesn't like it. So, as you can see as well, another Annihilate bleed, it is not really as ideal, especially as they're going to have a Lantern on the back. Yeah, of course, like it is kind of annoying to have the Annihilate in the lead because, yeah, Vigoroth is literally the weakest Pokemon for this kind of matchup. Like the worst Pokemon that you can encounter as a Vigoroth is going to be the Annihilate, as it's going to be able to resist counter, Body Slam, as well as the Rock Slide, so the entire moveset of you while they do super effective damage against you, and that's just like kind of horrible. But anyway, we're going to see here that we are going to have out the opponent's Lantern, which is quite nice because Lantern is by far the worst possible matchup for our Talonflame, together with, I guess, like rock type Pokemon like Carbink or something. But here, as you're gonna see, the opponent is going to stay in for a little bit with their Annihilate and now swap out into a Sandslash again, and it's kind of the same play that we saw before in the battle before, literally like the same team, I think, from the opponent. And so we are going to be able to just win this battle quite easily because the opponent's core breaker is our Talonflame as Annihilate plus that alone Sandslash are both gonna go down from our Talonflame. So goodbye, their double fly is all we need, and we can move on to the next opponent. Here's the cool thing, by the way, where I also like the Flame Charge variant of the Talonflame a little bit more, as you're going to encounter the third Annihilate in a row. Like, I was not joking when I said that. But the cool thing about the Flame Charge variant of the Talonflame is also, if you go for one Flame Charge, the next two flies are going to be both only 2 fast moves, and that's really, really cool, because it's going to allow you to just get very fast to those charge moves and just catch people off guard based on like just the fast move timing. And so here we want to sadly have a horrible lead, a horrible say swap. Hopefully there's something in the back that we can still deal with. A lot of times it's going to be something kind of more neutral as a say swap, like, I don't know, like a Sableye or whatever for this type of teams. And so I was kind of still hopeful that we still have a chance here, but it's going to be a Dugong, which I guess is also kind of neutral. We decided to go ahead and go for the Talonflame's Flame Charge here. This is going to boost our attack as the opponent decides to use a shield, as they're very likely going to drop our attack anyway now with those icy winds that are coming through. We are in a very tough spot because you kind of need Talonflame to beat both the opponent's Pokemon, and this is going to be very tricky for us to deal with. As we're going to try to go ahead and go for a fly, I decided to go ahead and go for a very hard undercharge, trying to get as much energy as possible, but sadly I was not capable of doing that, as I survived with just a little bit more than 1 HP there. If I just went for like 1 or 2 more bubbles, I would have been able to win the battle, but like this, there is no chance anymore. Next opponent, Superior. We're going to stay in for a little bit, wait out until they get to their charge move, and then catch that move with our fire type. Like, guarantee you, there's something in the back that can beat fire, the fire type Pokemon. In this case, Wigglytuff. I don't know what the opponent tried to do here. It does not really make any sense at all, but we will take it, and I don't mind it, because like Wigglytuff is going to be horrible, like for itself at least, against a Skeledirge. Skeledirge is going to be able to resist the fast move. And look at this, the opponent is going to lose 1 shield plus spiritual advantage, putting them into a horrible spot for the rest of the matchup here. As we're going to see the Carbink coming in, we're going to be able to go ahead and go for the Vigoroth here, getting up some Rock Slides. Carbink is most likely the worst possible Pokemon to encounter, because counter is going to be neutral here. encounter, that's kind of funny. But yeah, counter is going to be neutral here compared to something like a Bastion, which also is kind of difficult to deal with with our backline. Actually, Carbing is the worst type of Pokemon that we can deal with here, together with, I guess, Azumarill. Azumarill is going to be a Pokemon that we're definitely going to see here in one of the battles as well. Definitely did battle quite a few Azumarill with his team. Here in this matchup, we're going to be actually quite lucky because we're going to get a free fast move in, allowing us to get some more energy on our Talonflame, going for the double Flame Charge and getting a double attack boost as well here. But it doesn't really matter too much with the attack boost because another Incinerate is not going to be going through, as the opponent can farm me down with those Rock Throws. So it's down to our Vigoroth. Can our Rock Slide be enough to knock out that Carbing? Let's find out. It actually is not, but 2 more counters or 1 more counter is going to be enough here, and we can move on to the next opponent. Oh, look who we see here. After, I think, 1 battle just now where we didn't have an Annihilate in the lead, we're going to have another one straight away. And yeah, that's the thing as well with this team. I actually did went positive with this team. Like, I went actually quite decently positive with this team. I think I had like an 8-5 run or something like this, which is super solid. But I lost nearly every lead, and I lost nearly every save-up, and still going so positive in a scenario where it's quite unlikely that you get like so many bad matchups in a row with it. It's quite nice out. Like, honestly, Showcase as a team definitely does work out quite well, and yeah, getting someone to Legend already early on into the season is also definitely a way of showing that. Here we're going to be using a shield against the Annihilate, just in case it's going to be a Shadow Ball, it's going to be a Night Slash. They swap out into Dugong, and again, it's kind of a classic line here currently of Annihilate, Dugong, as well as the Bastion. Also a team that I thought of using, but I opted against it. And yeah, I still kind of played a little bit of a similar variant, I guess, of it in the video tomorrow. So definitely check that one out as well. It's going to be quite similar in terms of like the Pokemon styles of that we have there, but it's still kind of very different towards that kind of team here. And I definitely like the team that I built, at least around Dugong, which is going to be tomorrow. Definitely like a little bit more than the one with Annihilate, because we have a little bit less weaknesses with the team tomorrow. So anyway, we're going to see here the Rockset coming through. Nothing I can do here really anymore. Talonflame gonna go down to 1 in close comment from the opponent. We can move on to the next opponent. Hopefully no Annihilate. It's a Charizard, which is honestly not way better, but what we're gonna do here is actually we're gonna go straight for the Body Slam, letting them know that this is not a Rock Slide. I just want to get the damage onto them, because we have 2 Incinerate users in the back, and like, this is the cool thing about this team. Fast move pressure is insane. You have 2 Incinerate users plus 1 counter user. Like, those are basically the 2 fast moves that do quite a lot of damage, like the most amount of damage, while still generating energy. Like, of course, we still have Charm, we still have Razor Leaf otherwise, which is quite bad in terms of energy generation, but like, those fast moves are good at both of them, energy plus damage, which is quite mad. And anyway, we're going to have here the Poliwrath against us. They're going to go ahead and go for a Power Punch. I did not see this coming. Power Punch is not something that I was thinking of, but yeah, well played by the opponent here. Quite an interesting tech move from them, as we are going to be forced to go ahead and swap out into our Talonflame, go and try to go ahead and go for another Fly very likely here, but we decided to use now a shield onto the Icy Wind. We have to overform by a little bit as well, just to have a little bit of a better matchup towards whatever they have in the back, as we can go for a Flame Charge, trying to get the knockout against that Poliwrath, not working out, and so we are going to be forced to take another hit, which is going to be only that Power Punch, which is at least quite nice for us, as they're going to see what they have in the back. Now, can we actually still win this battle? It's going to be Superior in the back. They swap out into the Charizard, and actually, yes, we can win this battle, because we can go for a full sweep with our Talonflame. Honestly, don't know really how this happened, but I was definitely quite happy about it. And so Superior goes down, we can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent, oh look at this, we're going to have another Annihilate here. Isn't that lovely? Oh, Lantern coming in as well, like literally, like what can I say, like the amount of Annihilate that we encounter with this team was definitely above the average that you would encounter, and also with the team that I played afterwards, I barely encountered any Annihilate in the lead, so algorithm confirmed, of course. No, of course, like not, but like it was kind of unlucky. Definitely was kind of unlucky. Here we're gonna see the stuff coming through from the Lantern. We can swap onto the Vigoroth and see what we can do with our little 8-boy. We can go for some body slams to get them a little bit lower. This is gonna chunk quite a bit, and we're at least gonna get rid of the hardest answer towards that Talonflame, unless they're going to still run a Bastion in the back or a Carbing in the back or whatever rock type, Pseudo-Wudo or Rock, don't know. Any of this kind of stuff is not going to be great for our Talonflame, but anything else we're going to be able to beat. And look at this, we actually got a 1-3 fast move in against that Lantern, getting us some energy elite, which is quite nice, as we are going to be able to use the shield now against the opponent's Ice Punch. They are going to swap out now perfectly into the Superior, as we can still go ahead and go for that Fly, getting a ton of damage, getting the potential of farming them all the way down, which we're going to take, as we can now get up to 2 Flies against the opponent. And that is going to be enough against the Annihilate to knock them out, as a double Fly is all it really takes. I don't know actually who wins the Team Peter, Annihilate or the Talonflame. I'm fairly certain it's Annihilate, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section who is winning this one, because I'm not gonna look it up now. Next opponent, we're going to have a great lead here of Dugong as I swap out into the Trevenant. Don't do what I did there. I was just way too sluggish in terms of swapping. Honestly, was late, was a little bit tired while doing those battles, so that's kind of a mistake, but it does not have to be punished anyway, and so we're gonna try to go ahead and go for a Flame Charge, try to knock out the opponent's Trevenant, but they kind of were against it, as the 1 HP that they survived on allows them to go for another Shadow Ball to force the final shield of mine, and we are still going to be in a solid spot though, because we have that energy lead, we have the damage output lead now, because I think I went for some Flame Charge before, and now we see here as well the matchup against Dugong. We can guarantee basically a shield here from them, because I don't think that they're gonna get rid of it exactly, and now it's down to if I can win with one fire type Pokemon and that Vigoroth against whatever they have, and it's going to be a Gligar. I swapped out first into my fire type, expecting them to go into whatever they have in the back, and thinking as well that they're very likely going to be good against what I have here. But as you can see, we're going to be able to still take a hit from the opponent's Gligar. Our Vigoroth is going to be able to go for that double body slam here to secure the knockout against the opponent. And that is going to be quite lovely, as now it's only down to the Dugong, and Dugong has nothing they can do, and we can move on to the next opponent. We're going to have Azumarill here, my kind of nemesis for this team. It is not actually too bad for the lead, and actually you can kind of play around it. Basically what you kind of want to do, in my opinion, is just to try to use a shield on to those first charge move here, and this is going to be like, this is going to be, I think, just a play rough. We're going to be able to let the move go through. We can try to go for a body slam against the opponent's Azumarill. This is going to be kind of nice, as we can try to now catch the move, because usually they're running Ice Beam as well as the play rough, like barely anybody is running Hydro in the current day's meta, and so I can kind of swap out here, try to catch a move. This is usually very safe. Let's see what it's going to be. It is going to be, of course it's going to be the Hydro Pump, because like, what else is supposed to happen here? Anyway, we're going to have now the Annihilate against us, which is quite a lovely for us. We can try to use a shield against the opponent. We can go for the Flame Charge, trying to buff our own attack, as we are going to be able to go for those double flies afterwards as well. But the opponent's still gonna be able to go for one more last charge move here on that Annihilate. Night Slash is coming through, we have to let the move go through just to keep that one shield intact, as we will see what they have in the back. It is going to be the Lucky Tongue, and this is going to be game over. There's not a lot that I can do about it. Yeah, like literally, there's literally nothing I can do really about it. But we of course still trying our best here, using a shield, trying to see if we can still do something, at least with the energy that we have on that Talonflame. But as you're gonna see here, of course, that Fly is gonna get shielded. We can swap out. It's not in range for Body Slam. It's not in range for Body Slam. It's not in range for counter. This is going to be game. The opponent's Lucky Tongue is just going to be something that we cannot take down. And as well as also the Azumarill. Like, I'm not even going to be able to knock them out here either. It would have been cool if I just got like one more fast move in, but it doesn't matter. Final battle for today, we're going to have the lead of Galvantula. And that is quite nice, as we're gonna swap out now into our Diggers, into our Skeledirge to get out the opponent's Diggers B, which is also kind of okay for me, because kind of what I want to have here is a scenario where I can get some energy with my own Vigoroth, which we should be able to do here against the opponent's Diggers B, doing some super effective damage against them. They're gonna go for one Scorching Sand. They need 5 more possible to get to a Fire Punch if they have it, but they might not even have it, but they do have it, and so we're gonna let the move go through. Fire Punch is barely doing any damage. Like, Diggersby has a ton of bulk, not really a lot of attack, and so it's not really too scary in that kind of regard. We can still go ahead and go for a Rock Slide against the opponent here. This is gonna get the shield. They can go for their own charge move here as well, which is going to be that launch. And we can try to go ahead and go for another Rock Slide here against the opponent. Let's see how this is gonna go. It is going to get the shield, and we can swap out. Talonflame comes in, they're going to be a Manta in the back end. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because this Manta is not just a standard Mantine. This Manta is a Mantine that is going to go ahead and go for Bubble Beams. And Bubble Beams is not something that I really like to see, and going to flip the entire kind of matchup for me as well, which is kind of annoying, but like well played, like good tech move there. It is definitely something I did not really see coming, and so yeah, they're going to be able to align themselves now. We have to kind of go for the Bubble Beam shield there, which is quite ridiculous, but like what else are we going to do here? Flame Charge coming through, going to be able to get the knockout against the opponent there, but sadly that Galvaventure is a little bit too strong for us, and so we're gonna go down and lose this one here at the end. But hopefully you still enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.